everyone. I must say the topic of today's lecture is really interesting. But the name of the essay is little paradoxical to my statement. The name of the essay is Bores and it is written by E.V. Lucas. I think we are using this word bore more often nowadays. What does it mean? What is boredom? Well, we can say that it is the state of being disinterested in our surroundings, having nothing to do or feeling that life is dull. But E.V. Lucas has taken up a different aspect of this boredom. He is talking about the boredom which is caused by others. He is talking about the people who are bored. There must be many people in your life too whom you consider bored, whom you avoid, with whom you don't want to spend any time. He has given definition of these bores. He has described the causes of boredom and types of bores, and he has even provided some of the remedies. E.V. Lucas was a prolific and versatile writer, and he was a keen observer of men and manners, which is quite evident in this essay too. He wrote many novels and he liked to call his novels entertainments. He is regarded as the prime mover in revival of light-hearted essays which became very popular later on. And this essay, it can be considered as the finest example of reformist purpose hidden behind the mask of gentle humor and playfulness. He says, one requires a sense of superiority, assurance and self-confidence to write about bores. Because nobody is ready to consider oneself a bore. A true bore is always unconscious of his borishness. In fact, even the greatest bore thinks himself to be the most pleasant man. He thinks that he is most companionable of men. Now, what is the cause of this boredom? Everybody has some fixed ideas to give, and those fixed ideas of few can be the cause of boredom for many. In fact, even the most pleasant men can have some odd experiences. Secondly, egotism is the foundation stone of a bore. And every time a bore has some kind of experiences, he thinks that his personal experiences are invaluable and very interesting to others. He likes to discuss his house, his wife, his children, his car, his garden, his ancestry, his instincts, his clothes, his humorous ways with the waiters, his victories. These are the things that he wants to discuss with others, and thus he creates boredom. But one thing is very strange about the bores, that they are generally very happy. Why? Because they have so much to talk about. And they always get an audience. They are sure of an audience. They always find people who are willing to hear them. Now, why and how they find this audience? Because of the ineradicable kindness of human nature. There are only few of us who have the guts to say, for heaven's sake, go away, you very mean. And others, they don't want to offend them. So we can say that they have the talent to make cowards of us all. We are left with only two choices, either to listen and endure or to run away stealthily at the very sight of them. He has given the example of a man who gave his servant this duty that whenever he is attacked by a bore, he has to take him away on the excuse of a phone call. But according to Lucas, these bores have some good qualities too. They are free and frank. They are never cunning. Simplicity is their greatest quality, and because of these qualities only, nobody wants to offend them. And after that, he has described some types of bores, and the worst type is buttonholing bores. Those who have the quality to detain others in conversation against their will. And when they lean on you, you are done. And the worst is when they try to tell you a funny story which is not at all funny, but you have to counterfeit laughter in order not to offend them. And there are other kinds who like to repeat stories, and no matter how many times you tell them that you have heard this story, they won't stop. And in this case, you are helpless. because they will go on repeating the same stories again and again. They believe in the principle of living and let living, but they would never let you have your own way. There are some who pretend to have a good sense of humor, but in reality, they only tire out and bore. Now, what are the remedies? According to Lucas, bores are generally thick-skinned, who cannot be shaken off just by gestures and indirect hints. So he has provided us with two ways. First is cultivate the habit of thinking truthfully aloud. How can this be helpful? Let me relate a story. He has given the example of a man. He contracted the habit of thinking aloud, and often his words were at variance with his thoughts. Once he met an acquaintance at St. James Street, and after meeting he muttered quite audibly to himself, "What a nuisance meeting this fellow. I have always disliked him, but since we have met, I suppose I must ask him to dinner." And after some time he went to him, and in very cordial manner he asked, "Would you like to dine with us today? Won't you?" So by doing this, he gave vent to his inner feelings, and it provided him with some kind of strength to tolerate him. And the another way is to be totally offensive and telling him you are a nuisance. And of course, this is very difficult. So basically, there is no remedy against bores except total evasion. Because no bore is ever going to say you, no matter how many hints you give, "I'll avoid this man in future. I know I bore him." These bores, they often get inspiration from weekly humorous papers, and they repeat those stories in front of others. So unless these papers stop publication, these bores are bound to flourish. So this was all about bores. I hope I didn't bore you. Thank you.